All right. I'm going to go ahead and make this live because why not? Why not? So I saw that the South Park, what is it called anyway? Or post COVID returns type of thing. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Post COVID, the return of COVID. Okay, I forgot. I forgot what the hell I was watching. So I saw the first one where of course, um, Stan lives alone apparently, um, and has like an Alexa or something like that, and is like a a booze or it's like a whiskey connoisseur or something like that. You have Kyle who just lives alone. You have Cartman who becomes an Orthodox Jew and has a family with 3 kids. This and that. How you doing, Temujin? Um, but it made me think to myself, and I did see it because I was curious. It's one of those things where you just like you want to see what it looks like. You don't necessarily, you know. I mean, for people like me, like I say, South Park was on for a lot of people's lives. It's been on for so damn long. It's like The Simpsons. It's one of those things where when The Simpsons does end, people just want to see what it's going to be. It's like everyone kind of. It's like, can I be Kyle? Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely, yeah, you can be Kyle. What I was gonna say though is, it's just this kind of phenomenon, especially with people like me who remember the early days of excuse me, of like South Park and the phenomenon of it, like the games and you know the chicken fucker and all that sort of thing, and all the turkeys and whatnot. And you think of how much changed, from all the seasons. Like you can generally pick up the same characters. It's like it's like you generally know the idea of Butters. You generally know about Stan and Kyle and Cartman, and you're just kind of like, okay, there we are. You know, you kind of get that sense about you, and it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's like the classic. I mean, here's the whole synopsis. I'll just give it away for you. So basically, it's like one of those things where they travel back in time to try to undo COVID and stuff like that. It's like we just need to, just let some slack off, bro. And it's just like you realize how normie tier it is. We all realize it. We realize how normie tier it all is. It's like, yeah, it was fart jokes, this and that, and then it became, as much as they made fun of the Simpsons, like the Simpsons did that and everything, but it's like they jumped the shark just as much as the Simpsons did, you know. And they became just another regular show who, tried to make fun of, you know, the time, make fun of, topical events and whatnot, and to try to make it work. And you realize just how ridiculous that is. You know what I mean? But I mean, like I say, it's just one of those touchstone type of things where it's just like it was around for so long. What was it, 1997? I remember I saw like one of the first episodes today because they were showing this thing. They're promoting that, the new one that just came out yesterday, the post COVID, the return of COVID sort of thing. I mean, I watched it. I watched both parts, and I was like, okay, I'll admit it was like, okay, yeah, the jokes ran a bit too long with like the Alexa stuff, and it's like in Space Jam 2, and it's just like you didn't have to. Like I said, I don't know. You do understand how normie tier it is, and it's just like yeah, it's a real Gen Xer show. Yeah, it is. Like I say, it reigns over somewhat into millennial territory. I think to a point that kind of shows how I'm kind of on the Gen X millennial sort of line. But yeah, that is true though. It's one of those things where it's just like you don't necessarily love Yeah, maybe old millennial. Yeah, well, I was born in '85. I'll tell you that right now. I'm pretty old, so I'm kind of on that edge. But fair enough. That is true, though. It is more of a Gen Xer show, to be honest with you. But it's one of those things where it's just like you'll sit down. You don't necessarily watch it because it's good. It's one of those things where it's like you know the general feel of it, and you're just like, okay. If I have to kill an hour or two of watching reruns of it, okay. It's kind of like I'm sure it's like old folks who watch MASH, right? I don't think old folks love MASH, but it was comfortable enough where you could sit down for like, I think, for what, half an hour or 45 minutes or something like that. You could sit down and watch it. And that's kind of the feeling of South Park to a point. It's like, haha, you can sit down and watch it and, you don't necessarily enjoy it and enjoy every minute of it. You may cringe at some of the jokes, but it's like, it's somewhat funny enough. It's the same type of thing to me. Once again, here's another sort of Gen Xer, definitely a Gen Xer, older millennial type of thing. It's like Mystery Science Theater 3000. And, the Mystery Science Theater 3000 going into like riff track sort of thing. It's like, yeah, Matt and Trey are 50 and 52. Holy shit. Damn, for real? Whew. I knew I was old and fat, but holy man. Holy moly. Yeah. But there you go. I mean, it's funny, they made fun of the NFT thing. It's like, okay, that's pretty good. And they made, obviously they made fun of like Alexa and stuff like that. It's like, okay. Like I said, there are only like 3 gags it's basically only a few veins in there. It's like, okay. They kind of made fun of like Anne Frank a bit. And of course, Cartman being becoming an Orthodox Jew and stuff like that. It's like, I get it. But it's like, you know what I mean? Back to what I was saying though. Like Mystery Science Theater 3000. That's one of those things. It's like old millennials and Gen Xers will remember fondly, which is why they, not to say that, like I say, not every riff tracks is brilliant. Not every one of them is. A lot of it's just, once again, mostly normie tier type of humor, and kind of like boomer humor, really. But yeah, I still see cryptocurrency as modern tulips. Yeah, to a point. But what was I saying about the NFTs are even worse? Oh, absolutely, they are. They are worse. But I mean, they see a fondness in it, you know. And it's one of those things where it's like, it catches you when you're young enough, and you want that same old feeling. It's like smoking weed, I imagine, where it's just like, I remember smoking weed at my, high school or something like that. I have such a fondness for it, or whatever, right? I mean, for me, I didn't smoke weed, so I can't really have that fondness. But it's a different thing. Yeah, I do see crypto. I'm torn on crypto, to be honest with you. I have $10 in Bitcoin, so there you go. I put $10 in it. It's still not even. I can't even make my money back. It's still like $7.30. So I would still be losing money. But there you go. Maybe that's because I'm with Swan Bitcoin. Who knows? But anywho, it's just one of those things to think about. Like I say, I try not to do a lot of these videos because there are plenty of folks who do shit like this and make probably better commentary. But I think I wanted to give my slight commentary on it because you realize it's like South Park is not a great show. It isn't. It isn't a great show, but it's one of those where it's just like you're used to it. And you know the general formula of it, you know the characters, you kind of know the backstory of it. It's like, yeah, Cartman is the Weasleyest character there. Stan is somebody who I think is fairly good natured, but I think his character was kind of fleshed out over time. Similar with Kyle, of course, making the Jew jokes and all that. But it's like, yeah, things got fleshed out, and you have, of course, the side characters, like Token, like Wendy, like Butters and things like that. All these different characters you kind of, get the sense of. But yeah, And you kind of get brought into it, don't you? It's not even, like I say, it's not even that you like it. It's just one of those things where just like, okay, I'm used to it. That's my feeling, you know. That's how I feel about a lot of things. Yeah, is traumatic mind control. Yeah, like I say, it is dumb. It is dumb. And I'll say to myself, and it is programming to a point. And you'll see the ridiculous jokes like the satellite coming, or the satellite dish coming out of Cartman's ass. Hey guys, I can't even do it. I'm sorry, I'm not even gonna try. But and seeing how rough that voice was, what was it, back in like '97 or '98, and then the games. Like I said, I remember my friend had one of the games, and just I think it was on N64. I think either that or PlayStation. I can't remember which. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you realize just how ridiculous it is, right? And you just, it's one of those things that kind of molds you into thinking that you're edgy. It's like, I'm edgy because I watch South Park. No, you're not. You're not. You're really not that edgy, or whatever, right? Oh, I'm against the establishment because I like anime. It's like, no. It's like you're one of billions of people who watches anime, dude. You know, it's like I'm not really an anime guy, to be honest with you. Once again, I pick out like things like maybe what is it, Iron Angels or something. I can't, not Iron Angels, the one where I can't think of it, but it's like, I don't know. You realize that we're all so controlled by it. I remember I felt so weird. It's like The Office. I remember I had to see the end of The Office to see Pam and what's his name get married. It was just so ridiculous. Yeah, South Park is edgy. Reddit. Oh yeah, Family Guy is edgy. It was, I think. Like I say, it's a matter of opinion, but our American Dad is edgy or something like that. It's like these, like I say. Yeah, I agree. South Park is edgy. Reddit. Family Guy, I think did have its edgier time with some of their jokes, but I think in general it was just normy enough. I don't know. People are gonna, it is what it is. I'll put it that way. It is what it is. I think it's just one of those things that people live vicariously through those things. And they know it enough to be like, oh, they can memorize lines and shit like that. Well, that's where we are, though. Isn't it? I mean, and that's how the system keeps you under heel, right? I imagine in other countries. I mean, it's the same thing with Chinese TV, where they have to have propaganda movies to demonize Japan, right? Even though Japan, say what you will about a lot of things, but Japan is certainly not what it used to be. I'll put it that way. You know, um, they have to continue to put out these wushu style films and these wushu style TV series to keep that sort of mindset there. It's something to think about. Like I say, I think people should just be cognizant of where they are and realize, what controls folks, right? It's the same thing with football. People keep track of the different players and everything else like that. They have their fantasy football teams and everything else about, well, this, oh, well, Aaron Rodgers or whoever, right? And you realize just how ridiculous a fandom it is, because like these are people that make millions of dollars that you'll never see, that you may put all this money on for a night, so that because you love football so much. And people have been memed into that. It's like, you think religion, I mean, I think it's ridiculous that people are like, oh, religion is the opiate of the masses. I would say football is a bigger opiate of the masses in the United States, far more than religion. religion does not have the influence that football does. I'm going to put it that way. The bombs change them now. Instead of banning Chinese kids, they'll poison their minds with anime. Yeah, that's true. I mean, the same can be said for Germany, though. Germany had massive propaganda. Feel as you want to about it, but Germany was destroyed long ago, and now you have a country that keeps up and still has that technical ability, but really doesn't have the same strength it used to. Got to take them outside, huh? Oh. But yeah, I mean, this is, like I say, we have to realize that there are massive propaganda campaigns. The United States, has been propagandized in so many different ways. It's hard for people to understand where they go, right? And people can go down massive rabbit holes where they'll be like, well, we can't enjoy Christmas themed stuff because Jews wrote Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, that's true, but what sort of road are you going to go down? Are you going to play pagan music instead? Or are you going to? And then, of course, ultimately, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, if you are a modern day sort of pagan, you're going to end up just becoming a Hindu because, of course, you can cope all day, but say European paganism, has been degenerate openly or subtly since the Great War, in my opinion. That is also true. That is also a fair point. And Germany was a very nudist society. And yeah, we saw what occurred, in the Weimar Republic. And like I say, the Nazis didn't completely get rid of that. It just went underground. It was still that way, but it was always kind of weird. I don't know. It's just one of those things that you realize is that, this is why I don't completely believe in return to something. It's like you can't really return to it. The damage has been done. This is why it's like, you could learn about all these different, Weimerica. Oh, no, I agree. It is Weimerica. But can you really build the U.S. into something that it may have been before? May never have been, It's one of those, like I say, we started talking about South Park, and now here we are talking about this. But that's the rabbit hole that we go down. But it's an example, South Park is an example of something that was so edgy that was seen as bad that people had spent, so long, criticizing and saying it's awful. Same thing with, I'm sure, Family Guy and all these other things. And were they really that edgy at the end of the day? It's the same thing with, The Simpsons or whatever. Was it really that edgy? Was Dave Chappelle really that edgy? I don't know. It's one of those questions that you ask yourself, right? But you realize just how deep the rabbit hole goes, I blame the Northerners, yeah. But that's my attitude anyway. That's my attitude. It doesn't mean you have to take it doesn't mean you have to be despondent or be nihilistic. Just be cognizant of that, But I think folks that, get their eyes so opened up to the past that they don't want to look at what it is today. And instead, they rather have their personality cults. They would rather have their popularity contests. And that's one of the biggest things. Once you browse message boards on no TV, boards, no TV is edgy. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that is true. Much as I like satire, I don't find myself being motivated to watch those shows. Since our current reality is satirical. Oh, absolutely. No, I agree. I agree completely, the other Carl. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those. I've repeated that. I'm sorry. I'm just like a robot myself. I'm just so programmed. But It's such a deep, deep pit that we're in, isn't it? It really is. And you realize that you are a cog in this machine. It's a very different matter, right? And you realize that the supposed opposition that exists out there really doesn't, serve as any threat. Or at least it doesn't appear to be. I'll put it that way. But that's my feeling about it. I think that to a point, maybe it's been made where people are so self-destructive that they don't need to have any real sort of surveillance against these folks. They just destroy themselves. That's my opinion. Yeah. Earlier, when I had an interview with Claire Caw, I told her that Biden is the perfect symbol of America because it shows a country that's old and senile and has lost its direction. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Claire Caw. Who is that? I'm trying to think of who that is offhand. Oh, okay. Secular Quranist. Maybe I'm reading the wrong thing here. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay. I was taking a little bit past that and seeing who that is. Okay. Huh. Secular Quranist, though. Really? Neoconservatism is another term for me. Oh, okay. Huh. Interesting. Secular Quranism. How the fuck did you come across her, Carl? It's so random. Really? Secular Quranism. Really? I'm going down into another rabbit hole, but that's okay. I'm willing to do that. Hmm. Really? Hmm. I'm sorry, folks. I'm looking through this thing now. Sorry for the background. There we go. Save Western problems. Really? Sorry about that, folks. I'm looking through this now. Really? Vincent Bruno laughs at one of my comments. Really? Banning conversion therapy. It's now time to complain about the. Okay. Interesting. Without an ennobling religion. Yeah. Does he? Wow. Okay. Interesting. Interesting kind of. She found me through Duvin. Yeah, because of, that idea is hers and hers alone. She's pro Sharia, but I don't think she actually believes. Okay. Yeah, I'm cautious of that sort of thing. Like I said, people are. You can believe what you want to here, but I'm just a bit more cautious about that sort of thing. But yeah. Oh boy. Well, there you go. What is myth the answer? I don't know about that. I think it's like I say, it's a difficult thing with religion. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and keep my opinions myself on that, because really I don't have a strong opinion. I know that's kind of wimpy, but that's my opinion on it. That's my spicy take on it. But it is what it is, as they say. So yeah, I feel like I've entered into a world that I really shouldn't be talking about. So I don't think I will. I think I'm going to avoid that. So apologies for folks that hear this and I'm like, I'm going to make a left. Yeah, since I haven't made that many videos, I've been guessing on other people's channels more frequently. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, well, no problem. Like I say, you are a grown man. You do what you want. I'm sorry. I apologize, but yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to see what's going to come about. Uh, hold on. Hold on there, folks. Apparently Tim Pool was mad at somebody, but there's, let's wrap up on this. I'm not going to get into the religious stuff because to me that's a minefield, and I don't really have the intelligence or the wherewithal to really get into it. So I'm just going to choose not to talk about that. I will finish up with this. Apparently, Tim Pool was arguing with some Spurg or whatever, and it came off, and he went off. But to me, it's just silly. What? So he went off, and it was just okay. It just looks like nonsense to me. But yeah, like I say, there are so many people who have wasted so much of their lives. These lefties who are like, they're still going to be doing the Ben Shapiro jokes when they're older, and they think it's funny. And no, it isn't. It's just stupid to really concern yourself that much with people, with individuals and their beliefs. It's like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to talk about. But like I said, as opposed to what people may think, I'm not that obsessed with people like Vosh or people like that who make these shit comments. It's like I really don't. I've made a lot of, I've made a lot of clips and I've made, but I try to avoid most of the bullshit that they talk about. I don't know why. So many lefties have created like this economy of wasting their time talking about everything that Ben Shapiro does, or everything Tim Pool does, or everything what's the Vietnamese nigga what Andy Knows says. It's like, why do you care? Why do you care about what these people do? If they're really that bad or whatever, then why not try to take them down? But it's like they're not going to, and they need them for their economy. It's the same thing like talking about Crowder or something like that. It's so sad because like I said, it goes to show just how manufactured things are. It's disappointing. It is. But yeah, I don't mock people for their ideas. It's usually for their appearance or way of speaking. That is good. Yeah, those clips were great, but you talked about less than most, yeah, less than most leftists did. They don't know how to inhale the indica through the nose. Yeah. Like I say, I spent a while, digging up those clips, and I think, I've talked about Vosh here and there, but I've tried to, like I say, recently, I think I've really tried to move on from it because, I'll see the clips and whatnot, and I'll see his streams sometimes, but it's like, I generally know where he's going to go and his views pretty much. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to waste my time. He's going to argue with his chat, and have the vapor locks or whatever, and, you know, say some dumb shit, and then continue on. He doesn't even do debates, really. It's like seeing superpower broadcasting. I'll put it this way. I'll at least acknowledge it. But apparently superpower broadcasting now is back on YouTube. His channel has returned. He's going to continue to put out the same stuff he's always done. This sort of edgy atheist type shit where it's just like mixed with his sort of, American liberalism, needs to come into the world. That it's just silly. Smoke to chill him, yeah. Predictable aroma, yeah. Well, that's my feeling on it. I think I'll go ahead and wrap this up. I apologize, Glasnow, because I know you just came in. But I think I've pretty much spoken enough about what's going on. Yes? How can we help you?
Water. Fresh papers for me.
Okay, I will do that. And I gotta go take care of some stuff. So I think I'll go ahead and find that as a good reason for me to end this little stream here. So I appreciate y'all watching. You can go back to the beginning and see what I was talking about with South Park, but it was okay commentary, I think, on that sort of thing, and you can probably see it for yourself. But anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed that little stream. So see you later. Bye-bye.